You know, the cyberpunk genre is in a truly great place at the moment. Games like the modern Deus Ex releases that followed the Adam Jensen story arc were great and really stayed the course during the era when everyone felt compelled to just make modern warfare clones. Every day we should pay tribute to the stoic giga-chad Adam Jensen. It really feels like Jensen carried the cyberpunk genre on his back for several years. He walked so 2077's V could run.
This absolute Chad hard carried an entire genre for a whole decade.
"2077 was a troubled game at launch for sure, but if you had the hardware to at least kinda, sorta, maybe run it, it was and still is a truly remarkable achievement. I am having a ton of fun with the Phantom Liberty DLC right now. Now we are blessed with an abundance of indie developers taking a stab at the cyberpunk genre as well, and I couldn't be happier. We've had games like Ghost Runner or the great Turbo Overkill that just absolutely drip in that cyberpunk vibe, while on the wings we have games like Fortune's Run in development as well. Enter SPRAWL. The premise of this game is one you probably already know if you're a cyberpunk fan. This is high-tech, low-life. Immediately from the soundtrack alone and homages like this boss fight, it's clear that SPRAWL takes a ton of inspiration from the cyberpunk classic Ghost in the Shell. I'm not even a fan of most anime in general, but this movie, along with Akira, was one of the most important movies in sci-fi history, and SPRAWL's influences are extremely evident here. You play as Seven, some kind of super soldier being aided by a mysterious benefactor, the Father.
You were once their crown jewel, their prized instrument of death.
Obviously you're up to no good and you've started making trouble in your neighborhood, which has all the attention of the corpos. You know, the story isn't anything particularly original, but I guess it works here. I feel like I just played a game like this. Oh yeah, Trepang 2. Neat game, even if it was kind of just like a tech demo. Hey, you know, when it comes to having fun in an action-based FPS game, the story still just plays second fiddle. I have some issues with SPRAWL overall though, so the progression of the game is extremely linear, which is it's fine. However, a couple times along the way I felt not lost, but a bit turned around. You know, as soon as you start learning the advanced movement techniques of this game, it kind of feels like you lose the direction it was going for narratively. Maybe some sort of concise objective markers might have been in order here, or I don't know, or maybe at least some sort of objective log at all. Like, sometimes I got so distracted exploring a level that I legit forgot what I was supposed to be doing, and even though the dialogue definitely told me what to do, well, that was like 5 minutes ago now, and I totally forgot what that was. Maybe I have ADHD. When this happened, I only knew I was progressing when I found something I hadn't seen before and got a checkpoint notification. Okay, maybe that's a me problem, but it really hampered the flow of the narrative sometimes. A text and audio log of some sort would do wonders here if you don't want to do straight up objective markers, you know, just saying. Sometimes you just forgot what you're supposed to be doing when you're having fun, man. The shotgun jumping was a fantastic idea, albeit flawed. Anyone who is proficient in any sort of Quake-style rocket jumping knows that just one rocket jump is rarely enough to produce the movement you're looking for. In a lot of ways, SPRAWL feels like a game that was designed to be played a certain way. However, its movement tech afforded much greater possibilities once you learned them, and then when you did, you kind of just felt like you were breaking the game. An example of this was like the slide hopping. Man, you can cover so much distance so fast with slide hopping. It is nuts. I thought the enemy variety was good, though their placement in the flow of the game really felt predictable at times. Not really that big of a deal. The weapon variety was okay. My major pet peeve beyond the half hour it takes to get the half hour it takes to rack the shells for the next shotgun, like seriously, it takes like 5 seconds. Was the wind up for the railgun. Like, I know this has been reduced in subsequent patches, but man, a railgun is that gun you whip out for the flick shot, man. Come on. You know, the classic weapons in this trope, like the Quake 3 railgun, or even weapons like the AWP from Counter-Strike, this is one you pull out when you want to click and delete. Pure skill type weapon. The wind up for this just absolutely kills the flow of combat when you have to take that moment to make sure you're still aiming at the enemy before it actually goes off. I missed a lot of shots with this unless I just kind of sat back and took out people from a distance, which kind of just felt like cheesing the vibe of the game. Overall, I had fun with SPRAWL. It's a unique release in the indie space in that it forgoes the early access phase, which I feel might have been to his detriment here. I know early access can get a bad rep for being like a crowd-funded QA phase, but I doubt I'm alone with my criticisms here, and they probably could have got nerfed or buffed accordingly with some community feedback. That said, since I originally played the game, a bunch of improvements have been made to Sprawl, so the devs are definitely listening to the feedback. I'd say definitely check it out if you dig movement spooters? I'd say definitely check it out if you dig movement shooters and retro vibes. It's dripping in cyberpunk flair, taking cues from many familiar tropes in the genre. And while, despite thinking it was pretty mid, it was still pretty cool. Thanks for watching.